Good afternoon. This is my project of educational measurements and evaluation by Madame Namiriam Benedict. My name is Nakyanzi Pauline, year 2. This is my class context for learning, and my class is involved or is called an inclusive class because it has deaf students in it. Then following the criteria, I chose the different topics that I'm going to use in my project, and in it I chose the scramble on colonization for East Africa, then the establishment of colonial rule in East Africa. Under this, I have the general objective, which says to explain the causes, methods, and impact of colonization in East Africa, and then solve any situational problem that merge. That is general objective 1 under topic 1. Then under establishment of colonial rule in East Africa, I have a general objective of to explain why and how the East African communities reacted to the coming of the colonialists. Under these general objectives, I went on and identified the specific learning objectives, whereby under the general objective 1, I have a specific learning objective of students will be able to know the terms scramble, partition, and colonization of East Africa. Under this, it is like my students will be able to define the terms scramble, partition, and colonization by explaining the process that occurred in the different stages. And it will be done through visualization and discussions. This will take 1 hour and 20 minutes, which will be 55.56% of week 1. And this specific learning objective is related to the general objective 1. Then to the topic 2, I found a specific learning objective, which is students will be able to understand the concept of collaboration and resistance. Here, my students will be able to explain the concept of collaboration and resistance through visualization and think, pair, and share method plus the question and answer from the teacher. And it will take 2 hours and 20 minutes, which will be 9.72% of the week 5. And this specific learning objective relates to the general objective 2. Here, this is my summative assessment that I'll give to my learners, and in it, I have different types of test items in which I'm going to categorize 4 of them. And the first test item, which says, why did Europeans and Asians come to East Africa? This one, it is a multiple choice test item, and it relates to specific learning objective B will be achieved under this question. Then the second test item is the fill-in. This is question 2, whereby it requires my students to fill in the correct answers that are required by the question. And this test item will lead to achievement of specific learning objective I. Then the third question is the short essay question or test item, whereby it is number 3 in my summative assessment, and it requires the students to give the positive effects of colonization of East Africa. And the specific learning objective to be achieved is E. Then also in section B of my summative assessment, I have the extended essay questions, which need more explanation, analyzing and application of knowledge of the students. Below is the scoring rubric for the summative assessment. And this is the performance task of it and its score rubric. Then about the validity, the reliability, I used the test retest reliability, where after the students had finished to do a test, then the following week, I promised them another test. And in this one, I retested them with the same questions that I had set before, so as to measure their scores after the 2 tests. So after this, I will use parallel forms reliability, whereby in this, I set different questions, but from the same content to the same class in order to measure the knowledge and skills of my learners. Then under validity, I used the content validity type, whereby here I assess whether a test is representative or not. Here, representing all the aspects of my topic. For example, here I use the end of term test for my class, and the set which I had, it covered all content from the topics that I had given to my students. And so it is expressed in the summative assessment, whereby I put everything in my summative assessment that the students have ever learned. And therefore, forgetting anything in that summative test, it could mean that the students are going to underscore. And to the fact that I put everything that I've taught, the students' scores are going to be average. And since I didn't put things that I didn't taught, it shows that my work is valid for the students' passing and knowledge. Thank you. Then this is my self-assessment regarding complete assessment plan. Thank you.